The Galapagos Islands. The most extraordinary place on Earth. Where spectacular animals live side by side with people. Meet Monty Halls, explorer and marine biologist.
I'm not grabbing that. It's massive.
He's so passionate about these islands.
Right there. That is the promised land.
That he's moving here.
OK, got it. Next time, I promise.
But what makes this expedition different is that his family are coming too.
There is no greater explorer than a 5-year-old.
It's gonna be amazing!
It'll be a chance for all of them.
Look at this.
I found one!
To discover what makes these islands so special.
I couldn't believe my eyes. An egg!
But it's not all play.
I got shit in my tail.
You did.
The family will see firsthand how the way we live is threatening even this remote paradise.
The islands are getting in danger.
Everything to do with human existence is here on this beach.
And they'll be finding out just what the future holds.
Up we go, let's go.
For these remarkable islands.
If we can't save the Galapagos, then what about the rest of the world?
"40 years ago, the Galapagos Islands became one of the first ever World Heritage Sites. A beacon of ecological importance for the rest of the planet. But in those 40 years, the world's human population has almost doubled, whilst global animal numbers have halved. And even these remote Pacific islands are not immune.
So now is a really pivotal time in the future of these islands. Everyone knows they're special, and they're unique, and they're precious.
Monty is president of the UK's only Galapagos conservation charity.
Just trying to get him away.
He wants to find out what we can all do to protect these islands and their wildlife. So he'll be getting hands-on with groundbreaking science and conservation projects. But unlike his usual expeditions, this time he's uprooting a unique research team from their home in Devon. His wife Tamsin and their daughters Isla and Molly.
I think the sense of curiosity and the sense of wonder that Isla and Molly are going to have when they see these islands, I don't want to over-egg it, but I'm beside myself.
The kids are the perfect prism for seeing the world through fresh eyes.
To see Isla and Molly getting involved in the adventure and the exploration of the place, it's going to be a really lovely experience.
Just hours before they leave, the reality of moving the family to Galapagos for 3 months is beginning to hit home.
I'm doing my last bit of packing. Moles,
I put
what are you up to?
vegan balloons.
And what have you got in the case with you to go to the Galapagos? Have you made a nest?
Daddy,
Good.
come with me.
It's like going on a hen do.
The two mini hens.
Yeah.
Daddy, your face.
Oh, excellent, yes.
Sparkles, lavender, jingles, and waddly.
This is the start, really. I think for me, of realising this is going to be an altogether different experience.
The family have a 36-hour journey ahead of them. First from Bristol to Amsterdam. Then across the Atlantic. Nearly 6,000 miles to Quito, the capital of Ecuador. Before 600 miles further, into the heart of the Pacific and the Galapagos. Until the 1960s, the only way to reach what mariners called the Enchanted Isles was by boat. Today, they are part of Ecuador, and over 30 commercial flights a week bring in over 200,000 visitors each year. And 4 more have just landed.
Hi there. Thank you very much.
Yes, I need look. Please,
Oh, yeah, of course, of course.
Any fruit or seed or cheese or milk? Can I have you? No?
A dog?
In most airports, guards are on the lookout for drugs and guns.
No problem.
That isn't mine.
Yeah.
But in Galapagos, enemy number 1 is a little different.
Yeah. Oh, that's might be a bit of straw, actually.
This is the problem.
Molly's suitcase nest may be about to cost Monty a $19,000 fine.
What's your name?
Oh, Monty Halls. We're from Britain.
It's possibly in this the right that the yeast or the yeast is the product is the problem is the plaga in Galapagos. Therefore, this will take you. Okay? Thank you very much.
In the Galapagos, even the tiniest insects could disturb the island's sensitive ecosystem.
Okay, thank you.
But luckily, this time, Monty gets off with just a slap on the wrist.
Come on. Hello.
Outside,
I'm Robbie.
Hello, Robbie.
the family are met by Robbie, a local guide who's going to help them settle in.
You're our most welcome sight.
The Galapagos are a group of 13 major and 6 smaller volcanic islands. Just 4 of them are inhabited. And the Halls family are staying on an island about 1/10 of the size of Yorkshire, called Santa Cruz. Its highlands rise to 3,000 feet above sea level and are blanketed in thick forest.
This is jungle, Mom.
It is.
I don't want jungles.
It's actually a type of cloud forest, unique to these islands. 1 in 3 of its plants are found nowhere else on Earth, including the Scolacia, a type of daisy that grows 20 meters tall.
Wow. We need to get them in and get them to bed. They're shattered. Come on, Smiley. Come take that, you poor old thing. Let me see that path. That's just at the top of the path. Should we go and have a look? Those flowers. Wow.
Okay, there we go.
gosh.
Oh my god. Like a nice house.
Look at that, Miles.
Another big step.
Look at this
Another big
place.
step. Amazing.
Right, we're in. Go on in, Moles. Wow.
Aww.
Look
Oh my god, it's amazing.
at this.
Oh, want to get
Look at this.
Oh.
Every time I come to the Galapagos, I feel like that inside,
It's super fun.
but I'm just too tightly wrapped to bounce on a bed. So, yeah, it's great.
Where 36 hours of travel meets 7 time zones of jet lag, exploring will have to wait until morning. The biggest town in the Galapagos is Puerto Ayora, just 3 miles down the road from the family home. On the surface, it's a normal seaside town. But what makes this place extraordinary is that when people moved in about 100 years ago, the animals didn't move out.
Puerto Ayora is always a magical moment for anyone who comes to the Galapagos. It's the first chance you get to get really close to the animals.
Okay,
Right.
let's go.
Let's go, chaps.
Ready?
Come on.
Hold hands.
With few natural predators, these creatures are ecologically naive, which means they're not really scared of anything. So they treat us just like any other animal they can't eat or mate with total disdain. Ecuador was the first country in the world to recognize the rights of nature in its constitution. And there's a law here that people must keep at least 2 meters away from any animal.
Right, this way. Come this way. Come this way.
Come on.
Right, up we go. Let's go.
Keep walking, keep walking.
Maybe someone should tell the sea lions.
Oh, there you go.
Buddy,
Look,
the
she's
sea
just
lion.
going into the sea.
Oh, that's where she wants to go.
And she goes.
And off she goes.
And she's off.
I like Galapagos because all the wildlife there is just so amazing that I couldn't believe my eyes.
With her bottom sticking out slightly, just like you when you're swimming,
It's
Isla.
okay. I can see her still. She's coming up to me.
You're going to watch her all the way out.
The animals here aren't just unusually tame, they are special in all kinds of ways. Some are giants. Brown pelicans and frigate birds, both having over 7-foot wingspans. The Galapagos sea lion, on the other hand, is the smallest sea lion species on Earth. And there are fewer than 400 pairs of these lava gulls in the world, all here on Galapagos. But what all Puerto Ayora locals have in common is that they know where to pick up an easy meal.
Look how big that one is.
That's a giant lobster. That must be like, how old?
That's huge. Yeah. 7
pounds.
pounds. Wow.
The waters around Galapagos are amongst the richest on Earth and the most protected. Within an exclusion zone the size of Belgium, only small-scale local fishing is allowed.
He's hungry.
Well, he can just go back into the sea and fish whatever he wants out of the sea, can't he? Sounds like he's doing lots of verbs, doesn't it? Sounds like Molly.
You've got an entire ecosystem in the size of a squash court. So you've got the top predators, you've got the sea lions, you've got people, you've got all the fish, you've got the bottom feeders, the crayfish, and there it is, all rammed in. It's almost too much to take in. See, that's tuna.
Okay, so we want to get some of that.
Who would have thought going off to buy fish for your dinner would be an experience you'd remember for the rest of your life?
It's morning on the Galapagos. And the Halls family are making plans.
What would you like to do today?
Let's go snorkeling. Yes, and diving. And sea lions. Marine iguanas. Baby turtles.
And unicorns! So that's the list.
In these enchanted isles, which mariners believe appeared as if by magic, unique creatures are everywhere you look. 80% of Galapagos land birds and an astonishing 97% of its reptiles are found nowhere else on the planet. But it was one man who came here nearly 200 years ago who first realized just how special these creatures are.
The chap behind me there is Charles Darwin. He changed the way we think about the natural world. He changed the way we think about ourselves.
Darwin, a naturalist and biologist, spent just 5 weeks here in 1835. But what he'd observed and collected on that visit shaped his life's work.
So in 1859, Origin of Species was published, the most important publication in the history of science.
By studying the birds and tortoises on different islands, Darwin realized that animals are shaped by their environment, changing over time into completely new species. What's known today as the theory of evolution.
The natural history of these islands is eminently curious. There is even a difference between the inhabitants of the different islands. And there we are. That is the start of the origin of species, that sentence right there.
Darwin's influence in the Galapagos is stronger today than ever, inspiring countless scientists and tourists to follow in his footsteps. And today, the Halls family are doing just that. They're going in search of the island's most iconic resident. The giant tortoise.
Found one, Mum! I found one! Found one! Hello.
It's thought that ancestors of the giant Galapagos, that's Spanish for tortoise, washed up here over 2 million years ago, giving these islands their very name.
He's very big.
He's huge, isn't he?
Up to 15 different species have been recorded, weighing up to 400 kilos. It was their different shaped shells that helped Darwin recognize evolution in action. But even he couldn't resist the temptation to ride on one.
Daddy, will it hurt us if you don't give
Oh,
me
it
this
won't
thing?
hurt us. They just eat plants. I think this one might be having a bit of a sleep.
The last one that Darwin himself may have seen was called Harriet. And she died just 10 years ago, aged about 175.
How fast can giant tortoises go?
Not very fast at all. Look, there you go.
Oh,
He's having a little
it's
walk.
like one step at a time, isn't it?
Giant tortoises don't run away from anything. 'Cause they don't have any predators.
That was true for millions of years. But it all changed when people first discovered the Galapagos, and then discovered how tasty its tortoises were.
Do you know what's the horrible thing about giant tortoises? That pirates used to eat them. They threw the shells overboard and only ate the yummy bits.
People no longer eat tortoises, but we do still pose them a threat. As the Halls discovered, it is all too easy to accidentally import foreign stowaways. And before controls were introduced, people deliberately brought all kinds of plants and animals with them. Many of these have run riot, wreaking havoc on tortoise populations by throwing the island's delicate ecology out of balance. And back home,
I do pegging, you do rotting up.
unwanted visitors are even throwing a spanner in the works of idyllic family life.
I'm full of things there.
Of course you are. Well done, honey.
Ow, my shoe! We got bitten by fire ants. Yes, thanks. And what ants?
The fire ant is one of the most pernicious invasives. Accidentally brought here with cargo from the mainland, it's been known to eat bird and tortoise hatchlings, and even bite little girls' toes.
I've got
sausage.
it in my tear.
You did.
Naughty fire.
Naughty fire
Fire
ants.
ants by the washing line. The kids running around outside, for us, isn't an option, so we need to work on the fire ant issue out there.
You know, same as all the other kids on the island. They can't play in the gardens because of this invasive species that's coming. So, you know, that's our first little lesson, isn't it?
Lesson,
Yeah.
Painful lesson.
Ants aren't the only things spreading like wildfire. On Santa Cruz, news travels fast. The word on the street is that something extraordinary is happening in Puerto Ayora.
The girls are sleeping in the house. The house is about 5 kilometres that way. But I heard about this demonstration happening tonight.
The Galapagos National Park and Ecuadorian Navy have just seized an illegal Chinese fishing boat. In its hold, over 6,000 endangered sharks, the largest illegal haul ever caught here.
Un buque con una capacidad de más de 2.000 toneladas, con 300 toneladas a bordo.
This is an unprecedented show of support from local residents.
I've spotted Robbie.
Like Robbie and his kids.
My friends are over at that corner, and they're all here, and they make posters just like we.
So you're leading the charge for the next generation.
We could say that all kids are.
The Galapagos are amongst the most protected places on Earth. But this haul shows that even in a World Heritage Site, wildlife isn't immune to global threats. And the people here know it.
If ever I needed proof of the passion here for the islands and conservation and the people of the islands want to change things, here it is, larger than life.
In Puerto Ayora, the dust has settled. But in the clear light of day, Monty is realizing that the Galapagos Islands have reached a tipping point.
It's a huge vessel, just harvesting the sea, and utterly unsustainable. Imagine if a container was found in Africa with 700 lions in it, 300 tons of lions had been taken illegally. There would be global outrage. This has to stop, otherwise the shark will disappear from these islands, without a doubt. And if the shark disappears from these islands, then what is the future of the shark everywhere else in the world as well? It's shocking, absolutely shocking.
The Halls family have been on the Galapagos for just a few days. But already they've adapted to island life, living side by side with the animals. Moving here is a golden opportunity for the whole family to learn about a completely different world.
There's just so much wildlife around the beaches.
For 5-year-old Isla, that means her first day at a new school.
Well, let's go and find your classroom.
Yep.
Okay.
Hola. Hello. Buenos días. Good morning.
Yes. Hi.
Welcome, Laila. Come.
Okay, come and say hi.
Laila. Oh, bienvenida, Laila. Welcome to the Spanish class.
Say hola.
Hi.
3-year-old Molly is too young for school, but with a marine biologist dad in a natural paradise, the whole island becomes a classroom.
I see a mermaid, Dad.
You want to see a mermaid?
Yeah.
Right, we will do our best.
In a land where dragons roam the streets, surely a mermaid's not too much to ask.
No, there's no mermaids here at the moment. They're all out fishing. I think the closest thing we have to a mermaid might be your mother.
Tam is a keen environmentalist, and during her stay on the islands, wants to find out more about how they are coping with challenges facing the whole planet.
I'm really concerned about our children growing up and there not being particular species left in the oceans. So for me, this sort of environmental awareness for us as a family is going to be really important.
This is probably one of the most beautiful beaches here in the Galapagos.
The sand's changed, hasn't it? And now it's really fine.
Tam is joining marine biologist JP to survey the health of Galapagos beaches.
You haven't seen nothing yet.
The Galapagos are right in the middle of the world. They straddle the equator and are the meeting point for some of the Pacific's major ocean currents. These currents brought life here, including cold water colonists like sea lions and even penguins. What washes up on the Galapagos is a barometer of what's going on throughout the rest of the world.
Oh my word.
So this is Cerro Brujo.
Well, it's stunning.
This probably is a beach that is in the same shape as Charles Darwin saw.
200 years maybe
Yeah.
has passed and it's still the same.
Yeah, the same
Amazing.
thing.
JP is monitoring how these beaches are changing, with random sampling, searching the sand for anything that shouldn't be here.
Okay, how many meters you have?
33.
So every 6 meters, we're gonna use this quadrant. 6 meters, there,
I can't see anything. No.
nothing, no?
Nothing. 0.
0.
Yes.
Okay, now we go to 12 meters.
Okay. Again, there's
0.
nothing there.
To the naked eye, this beach gets a clean bill of health.
It's totally unspoilt.
So this is a pristine beach.
Utterly pristine.
Absolutely
Yeah.
pristine. I'm gonna take you to somewhere else.
Okay.
JP's next stop is a bay just 15 minutes away. Like most of this island, it's normally off limits to visitors. But it's exposed to different winds and currents. The tides that brought life to these islands today wash up a very different haul. Plastic.
If you walk all this coastline, you will find this. All half of the coast of this island, for example.
I'm shocked, but I'm really saddened, actually. It just makes me feel really sad that there's so much going on in terms of the pollution of our environments, you know, the plastic litter that's here. And I feel really helpless. I don't really know what I can do to help what's going on.
JP surveys revealed Galapagos' dirty secret. That waste plastic from as far away as China and Russia rides the ocean currents to the beaches of one of the world's most protected places.
This is Peru.
Right, okay.
Peru, China, Ecuador. It's a worldwide problem. The only difference between climate change and plastic pollution in our oceans is that we can see the impact.
Yeah. It's a problem that's affecting everywhere in the world, not just the Galapagos. And, you know, you don't necessarily see it, you know, when you visit the beaches if you come here as a tourist, but it's happening on the beaches here and it's happening all around the world.
Like all scientists, JP is looking for patterns in the data.
For example, you have items like this. So it's Nestlé, Coca-Cola,
Coca-Cola as well.
and, you know, Colgate, Colgate.
Colgate's, yeah.
These companies all have policies in place to reduce their plastic footprint. But we all have to take responsibility too. Because when plastic is dumped in the sea, it breaks down into tiny pieces, and even worse damage is done.
This is the stomach content of a dead sea turtle found here in the Galapagos.
No.
So you can see here, like plastic bags mainly,
Yeah.
ropes.
Oh, God.
Plastic pieces get smaller still, forming immense ocean garbage patches.
This is a sample from the ocean.
Wow. And then they get even smaller and smaller.
Smaller and smaller, and that's the problem. Every plastic that has been created since the 19th century is still on this planet, and is gonna be still on this planet forever. So plastic as diamonds are forever.
Yeah,
And,
and plastic is too. The problem is totally out of control, and I know there's lots of people doing lots of good work to try and find solutions to it, but it's going to take the whole world, all the countries that are producing plastic, to get together and to say we need to stop doing it.
All the rubbish. It's hurting the animals. It's stinking all the turtles. It's really bad.
The Galapagos National Park plays a key role in protecting the islands, whether from the impact of plastic waste or from illegal fishing. And in the past 4 years, they have also been involved in over 300 research projects. During his stay, Monty plans to join some of them to find out more about their work.
You must have, absolutely.
And how it impacts us all.
A lot of the stuff that's happened to these islands and to the environment generally has happened on our watch. We need to take responsibility for that and say, right, we need to do something about it right now.
In the next few weeks, he has 2 very different research trips lined up. For the first one, Robbie has invited him to join a quest to uncover the secrets of a real sea monster.
What we're looking for is the distinct dorsal fin, which is kind of the top fin sticking out of the water.
This team from the Galapagos National Park and St. Francis University in Quito in Ecuador are led by Jackie Alvarez. And they're looking for an ocean sunfish.
It's a very distinct action with the sunfish. It's this kind of waggling, gentle movement. It's because of the way they swim. They swim like that.
5 different types of sunfish have been found around the world. But the ones in Galapagos are still shrouded in mystery.
The Galapagos ones are important because they have bigger sizes.
Bigger sizes.
And they are located all around the archipelago.
Yeah.
So we want to see if they are residents or they are migratory.
The size of these sunfish could make them unique. 1 in 5 of all Galapagos marine species are found nowhere else on Earth. But to be sure, Jackie needs DNA samples.
Yeah, there you go, there's the sunfish. You see that big dorsal fin waving? That's big.
Sunfish can weigh over 1,000 kilos. So it'll need at least 2 people to catch one. That's where Monty comes in. That one got away. The team needs to refine its technique.
You're super strong.
From the front. Yeah.
Ahí, Robbie.
They've spotted a second sunfish.
Es el mismo, es el mismo.
Wait. Go. Okay, go.
The team must work fast to minimize stress to the fish.
This amazing animal is the largest bony fish on Earth. Lays 300 million eggs. Robbie's about to take a skin sample. Extraordinary animals, and they're just immense.
Its Latin name, mola, means millstone, and you can see why.
Its eye is right in front of me. I'm eye to eye with it.
Sunfish tagged and sample taken. It's time to let this giant go.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, it goes.
And push him down, push him down.
And off it goes.
Wow!
Mission accomplished, and Monty's bagged himself a whopper of a fisherman's tail.
When I first swam up to it, I was like, I'm not grabbing that. It's massive.
But most importantly, the DNA sample will help reveal how these Galapagos giants fit into the sunfish family tree.
That's a little hard drive, that is. It's population, it's lineage, it's geographic, the significance of the area it's in related to other sunfish. It's all in there. Isn't that amazing?
It was a good one.
It was a very good one.
On the Galapagos, it's the weekend. Although the islands themselves are small, they do have miles of coastline just waiting to be discovered. For the Halls family, there's something for everyone.
Just keen.
They are keen.
I can already see a massive sea lion. That's probably the daddy. He's like this in the surf.
Very proud, isn't he?
Oh, look, Daddy, that was had 2 babies.
Oh, yeah.
Dad, look, there's another baby.
There's another baby. There's babies everywhere.
There is no greater explorer than a 5-year-old.
The only problem with 5-year-old explorers is they can't put on their own wetsuits.
I'm just cleaning your mask.
There's a danger, I think, when I visit these sites that you might view them through the eyes of a biologist. And that's just not going to happen this time. Because I know the kids are going to be just utterly blown away.
Monty is a diving veteran of several thousand dives over 3 decades. But nothing beats taking your own little explorer on her first trip into an unknown world. A green sea turtle. Worldwide, 6 of the 7 sea turtle species are in danger of extinction. But this one is quite happy to share the water with 2 new companions.
There were 3 animals there having an absolute ball. One was Isla, one was me, and the other one was the turtle, which was genuinely swam up, had a little look at us, kind of curious. There's an animal that's been around, probably given the size of that turtle, 60, 70 years, maybe 80 years.
For a marine biologist, sharing the sea with an ancient ocean voyager is impressive. For a 5-year-old, it's magical.
It felt like I was diving, not just snorkeling around in a shallow. It was amazing.
So you don't get many chances in life to be a hero. Out there today, showing Isla that turtle, felt like a bit of a hero. That was really special.
Being able to get this close to nature makes the Galapagos a living laboratory for scientists. Hundreds of ongoing research projects constantly reveal new secrets of the natural world. But Monty is interested in what impact these projects might have on the animals themselves. So for his second research trip, he's joining JP and his colleagues from the Galapagos Science Center on a totally different turtle encounter. Scientists have been tagging turtles since the 1950s, revealing that they travel thousands of miles between feeding grounds before returning to the beach where they were born to breed. JP wants to know whether the tagging process itself might interfere with the turtle's normal behavior.
catching an animal and put it on the boat and doing all the process of science, you know, taking samples, measurements, weights, everything, it's a stress.
Yeah.
So we want to measure when the animal stops being stressed. And one of the ways of measuring that is that if the animal start mating or if the animal start eating. You know, so in the time that the animals start doing all those kind of things, it means that he's relaxed again,
Yeah.
and he is.
I'm exactly the same.
Exactly, exactly.
To find out when a turtle recovers from being tagged, you need to spy on it. And JP has developed a way to do just that. The team have come to Kicker Rock, the eroded remains of an extinct volcano. It's a stunning location. Which only gets more beautiful beneath the waves. It's not long before the team spot what they're looking for. Target acquired.
The idea now is to keep it out of the water for the minimum time possible.
The first job is to fix the tags.
We attach 2 of these earrings in each flipper. They are migratory species. They can be here one day, but the next day they can be in Indonesia.
Then it's time for JP's secret weapon, a modified camera and acoustic tag which lets the team track the turtle and see into its hidden world.
And also recording depth and temperature. Yeah.
Every second. That's it.
JP Spit is the best adhesive known in the world of turtle science.
Good to go. Ready? Say hello.
We're good.
Then it's just a case of returning the turtle safely to the seabed. And seeing how long it takes for it to get its mojo back. Turtles can hold their breath for several hours, so the team could have a wait on their hands. But just 15 minutes after being tagged, it looks like normal turtle service is resumed. If feeding and mating are signs of being relaxed, this turtle looks like a Zen master.
How wonderful.
This experiment shows that for this turtle at least, the tagging process isn't hugely stressful.
Manta ray.
The camera will stay on for just 3 hours, but it is already revealing new behavior in this iconic species that scientists always thought led a mostly solitary life.
You get an impression of how much they actually hang out with each other.
Yeah, all sorts of new information that in the past we didn't know.
JP's turtle cam is the perfect example of why scientists, ever since Darwin, have flocked to the Galapagos for a uniquely intimate view of the secrets of the natural world.
It's a glimpse of another world, isn't it? That we don't see. We're not privileged to see this world.
Exactly.
And now we can.
A day in the life of
A green turtle.
a green sea turtle.
I just wonder what Charles Darwin would have made of all this. You know, I think he would have been very, very happy on this boat.
Here, the privileged access to nature that so affected Darwin is just as impressive today.
One of the things that's really struck me over the last few weeks, having been here with my family, is the way we're accepted by the animals here. You're just another species within the ecosystem as far as they're concerned.
But as more and more people come here, there's an ever-increasing responsibility to preserve the delicate balance that makes the Galapagos so special.
What I'd really like to find out over the next few weeks is, are we living up to that responsibility? Are these islands safe in our hands?
Next time,
Jennifer!
Monty does law enforcement Galapagos style.
This policing role is really key.
Sees the island's hardest job in action. And the whole family discover a side of Galapagos they never expected.
Look at that.
Wait, what's the bird that begins with a F? It's called a fissy.